Okay, I think we're live. Welcome, friends. Audit the Vote girls. This is Tony Shoup. I have my ladies with me, Karen Taylor and Jamie Sheffield. And we want to just give you guys a quick update on what is going on with Audit the Vote PA this evening. We popped on our phones to find Senator Jake Corman making a statement to the local Pittsburgh CBS news station. Do you have any comments on that at this point, Jamie, or should I start reading?
Well, I think it's awesome that he chose a local Pittsburgh KDKA station so that we could have direct access to it in our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to give him a big shout out and tell him thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna read the article and then we are going to comment. Title of the article: State Senate President Jake Corman renews investigation of 2020 election, but claims Trump is not directing the show. Renews an investigation that never even really started. That's interesting. Corman gave no timetable for this investigation, but said the Senate would do nothing to interfere with counties in the upcoming November election. State Senate President Jake Corman says the Republican-controlled Senate is moving ahead with a forensic audit of the 2020 election. In his first television interview since announcing this latest investigation, Corman told KDKA political editor John Delano that he's not trying to undermine the 2020 election results. After all, Republicans did very well across the state, even as Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump by more than 80,000 votes. Oh, the hair on the back of my neck. Okay, keep going. Delano, as far as you're concerned, the election of 2020 is over and done with, as far as the results are concerned. You're looking at the process. Corman, 100% looking at the process. The legislature does not have the authority to change an election result. Our job is to provide oversight. To lead that oversight, Corman removed his Republican colleague, Doug Mastriano, who is a strong Trump supporter, and replaced him with fellow Republican Chris Dush, chair of the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee. I just think Chris Dush is in a better position right now to bring what we are looking for, not only his investigative background that he has, but also someone who is concerned about the credibility of this as well, and doing this in a way that the public will have confidence in, Corman said. Mastriano blasted Corman, accusing him of obstructing and hijacking the original investigation, which technically he did do. But Corman said he wants an audit everyone will respect and that answers questions many Pennsylvanians have. You're looking at how it was tabulated. You're looking at voter rolls and how they match up with people who were registered to vote. Were people still living in this area? Were they still alive when they cast a vote? Things of that nature. You're looking at some point at the machines to see if they're able to be tampered with from the outside, Corman said. I think it's 100% political, said Pennsylvania Senator Jay Costa, the state Senate Democratic leader. Of course he did. Costa said there have already been multiple audits and reviews and no evidence of any major problems. We're going to have fun with that. Democrats believe someone else is behind it all. I think they are getting their marching orders from, in my view, President Trump and the Republican playbook out of Washington and nationally. And they're just trying to undermine and discredit the 2020 election, Costa said. Delano responds, have you had discussions with former President Trump about this investigation? Not details of it. I've talked to him a couple of times. When a former president calls you, you pick up the phone, right? Corman would not get specific about his discussions with Trump, probably because he hasn't had any, but characterized the former president's words this way. Not on detail about what we should or shouldn't be doing. He expressed his concerns about some things, and you certainly listen to them. And like anybody else, you take those concerns, you try to implement what you can to alleviate his or anyone else's concerns in the process, Corman said. He was obviously on the ballot in Pennsylvania, so obviously has an interest. Corman said, as he has in the past, that the legislature cannot overturn the 2020 election results, even if Trump wants that. Delano comments, you acknowledge that you're not going to try to overturn those results. Corman, I have no authority to do that. Never had. All election disputes are decided by the courts. Corman did remove a strong Trump supporter as the lead of the investigation, so he was asked if he's heard from the former president. Delano comments, has he expressed to you any unhappiness about what you were doing? Corman, no. Look, I don't want to get into the details of our conversation, but no. Corman gave no timetable for this investigation. How convenient. But said the state Senate would do nothing to interfere with counties in the upcoming November election. There you have it. I'll let my ladies start while I continue to calm myself.
So I think the first thing we want to address is Jake Corman comes out and says that they're going to move forward with a forensic audit. And then later in the article says it will be 100% about the process. So if that's not opposites there, I don't know what it is. That's basically an oxymoron. You can't do both of those things and do the same thing. So Jake Corman, I'd like to know, which is it? Are you going to do a forensic audit, or are you going to do a 100% processes evaluation / audit / assessment / risk limiting / quality assurance audit? Which one is it? We'd like to know. Because if I recall correctly, when he says in his statement that he wants to do an audit that everyone can be proud of, I think I'm part of that group called everyone. And I don't think right now I could be proud of anything you're going to put your hand to.
No, I totally agree.
And you all think I'm the bad one.
What I don't understand is if it's all about processes, then and they don't want to upset the November election, obviously that means that they're not going to be looking at machines because they don't want to upset the November election, right? So how can you do a full forensic audit without looking at machines?
How can you do a full forensic audit without evaluating ballots? And how can you not care whether or not this audit takes place or gets done before the next election? Because again, people have no trust in Jake Corman or the Senate leadership of the Republican Party or the election system itself. So he must not be overly concerned with any election coming up in 2022. Sorry. He just must not care, because if it's not going to interfere with the election, then obviously nothing's going to take place or get done before the election or have an impact on this election. And that's not good enough for everyone.
Hey, Jamie, when's Corman's current term up?
I wish I knew, but I don't have time to actually figure out details about him.
If I could kiss them through the screen, I would.
So I'm actually pretty sure that Corman's term is up next year, like in 2022.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he just doesn't care about anything. If he's going to take his time and say no timetable, well, he must not be aware that they only have 22 months. And he must not care that they have only 22 months, because a timetable this late in the game is exactly what he should have. Exactly.
So go ahead. Here's my question real quick. So today is what? Well, it's past midnight, but technically we're still on like Wednesday because we haven't gone to bed yet, right? So it's been 5 days since Senator Dush got ahead of this Pennsylvania audit. So here's my question. Where are the subpoenas? It's been 10 months. What are they doing now? From what we hear, they're going to start doing hearings. Really? We need more hearings?
Did the 10 hearings that we already paid them to do not produce enough information for everyone?
I don't know. I would think so, considering that we had already sent out letters. Well, not we. Mastriano had already sent out letters. So as a state, letters were sent out to 3 counties, and the next step was subpoenas. So what are we going backwards now?
No, wait a second. Karen, you said 3 counties. Has Corman talked at all about which counties he'll be working in?
Not from I'm aware. Have you heard anything?
No. I wonder if he plans on doing any counties at all.
Or are we going to do the whole state?
I don't know. He hasn't told everyone.
But we're moving forward, right?
I guess with something.
Okay. Just asking.
I think Corman should probably do a video of his own to answer some of these questions for we the people.
Do you think, ladies, that he would come on YouTube live and let us ask him some questions? Should we invite Senator Corman to answer some questions from the
I'd
audience?
love to go live with Senator Corman. What about you, Jamie?
A virtual town hall.
I think that's a great idea.
And we could invite his constituents to the chat room.
I think that's a great idea. Love it.
Brilliant. Senator Corman and Senator Chris Dush, you are welcome anytime on Audit the Vote PA to address the concerns of your fellow constituents. My favorite part of all of this is I didn't have to say a word because my lovely ladies took care of it for me.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I think that we just want transparency. We want honesty, and it doesn't seem like that's what's happening.
No, transparency is not their concern. They actually want the opposite. They want to call it transparency in a very Orwellian kind of a way while they literally hide everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to talk about it in vague statements that don't provide information, don't provide timelines, don't provide any real measurable quantitative information that anybody has any clue what's going on. And then they're going to say, see, we told you everything. And that's just not okay.
Yeah, well, we're 10 months in out of our 22 months. So TikTok.
Maybe 115,000 people hounding them isn't enough. Maybe we should get a few more.
I think so. I think so. I think we might have to do that. Yeah.
So the public needs to know that this is not the audit that we three, as well as the 115,000 signatures that we went out and got approaching 120, have worked for the last 7 to 8 months to get. And you also need to know that Senator Mastriano is telling the truth about what went on behind closed doors in Harrisburg. Anything else, ladies?
Well, I think it's important that we all understand that just because Jake Corman wants to say we're moving forward with a forensic audit, he's shown no intentions to do a forensic audit. So don't let him get away with using the words, right? If he's not going to follow through on his word, then we need to hold him accountable to his words. And if that's what he's going to say, then that's what he needs to do.
And I do remember on Wendy Bell, he did say, I will commit to a full forensic audit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I guess we need some answers.
Mm-hmm.
We do. Ladies, what do you think about his comments on whether or not he spoke with President Trump and that whole situation?
I would like to know a little bit more about that supposed conversation.
Where were we a week ago today, ladies?
And I would venture to say from 3 women who have spoken to President Trump recently, I find it very odd that he has no desire to share that conversation if it took place. Because President Trump has some very strong feelings, some very strong opinions, and some very strong asks when it comes to the way that these processes are handled. And I'm sure that he would have shared those. And I'm sure that Jake Corman would love to share those with us if that conversation actually took place.
Again, at the end of the day, all we're asking for is transparency and honesty.
And an audit.
And a
full
forensic audit. But we have been more than transparent. And we're just asking for the same from them.
And I would like an explanation, right? So if Senator Dush is in a better position, what does that mean? Because I'm pretty sure that doesn't tell us anything. It just tells us how Senator Corman actually feels. And I don't know that I care about his opinion. I want to know what he means by that.
And here's my question. What does more credibility mean? How is he bringing more credibility?
And with who?
The other piece to this puzzle is I spoke with Senator Dush and his office in the very recent past and was led to believe that the reason things were moving slower and that they did not agree with the way Senator Mastriano wanted to do things is because they thought that in order to insulate this from the courts, that it needed to go through the state government committee. We walked through the Mason manual and they explained some things. And I agreed at the time, but see what's happened now is all they have done is remove Senator Mastriano from the chair position of the Intergovernmental Operations Committee and put Senator Dush in. So it's actually not going through the state government committee now, which is what we were told in the very recent past was the holdup. So again, which is it, boys?
And let's take a look at the trend here. Let's take a look at the trend of, I will elevate you to a position of power if you do what I want you to do, right? We know that this is happening because we have so many insiders in the House and the Senate telling us this is how it's done behind closed doors. So Senator Dush, I want to know from you, do the people not matter that you were willing to take the bribe?
Here's my other question. Why are they so adamant about this is going to go through the courts? Because yet again, as Jamie has said, there's been no mention of what counties that they're going to do. So how do we know for 100% what counties are going to happen? Because there's been no mention of that, and that these counties are going to fight it. And why is it automatically going to go through the courts?
Hey, girls, I bet we could come up with about 5 to 7 counties that wouldn't fight it.
I bet you we could.
I bet you we could.
I love you too.
I'm just curious. I just want to know, why automatically does it go to, well, we have to fight the courts? Why do the courts even have to get involved? Because from my understanding from the Masons Legislative Manual, the senators have the right to subpoena. Is that right?
That is correct.
So automatically we're thinking that any county, regardless of which one it is, because there's been no mention of it, is going to automatically say no and try and fight it?
Not all of them. But we don't know. So again, we just have questions. So I thank you for using our local radio station or CBS station, whatever it is. I don't watch the news, but I appreciate you doing it local so we could have direct access. And I think we need more answers. I don't think this statement cleared anything up. I think it just showed how much he's lying through his teeth and how many answers he's actually not willing to give.
And the three of us are very honest. We would love to have a real honest conversation with Senator Corman and really get some questions answered, because how many people have trusted us? Over 115,000 people have trusted us to do what they want done and to try and help get that done. And so we just want answers so that we can go back to that 115,000 people.
Yeah. I wonder, Karen, what's the point of removing Senator Mastriano for not doing a good job and then inserting Dush to do nothing and then saying that this is going to fare better with the people?
Yeah, I'd be curious.
I think somebody needs to ask the people what they want, and somebody needs to pay attention to what the people would actually say, because I'm pretty sure that voicemail of yours that's full and that you turn off regularly, and that email of yours that you don't check and don't respond to anymore is full, both of them. Your mailbox of all the certified letters and the affidavits full that you don't respond to, I'm pretty sure the people have spoken.
Wait a minute. Do you mean that the people actually matter?
Well, I mean, we are just the people.
Why can't I give virtual hugs? Seriously.
I think it's all garbage. And I think Senator Corman needs to answer some questions, not only from us, from the rest of the people. And we could do a poll and have people give us their top 5 questions for him so that we could get them answered. Because I don't think he has a clue.
Great idea, Jamie. We need to do a poll.
Because he's missing the mark here big time. And if he wants to play like this audit of the process of any of our election systems is what the people are asking for, then I guess he's not in touch with the president of the Senate in Arizona like he says he is, because that's not what they did. And I guarantee you that's not what Arizona recommended.
No. And if we're gonna do it the way that, it's now only been done in one other place, right? Arizona's the only one that's done this type of audit before. So they might have an idea of how to do it. And I think that we're actually in touch with some of the legislators from Arizona too, aren't we?
I bet if we dug, we could even find a list of things to forensically audit that they sent us.
I think we could find that.
I wonder if Corman got that list. I don't know.
That's a great comment, Jamie. I wonder.
Doesn't seem like it. I don't know. I'd love to have him on. I'd love to ask him some questions. I'd love to hear him fumble his way through some crappy answers. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy, honestly, to sit down and have a real honest conversation with both of them or either of them and really find out what you're trying to do. Because if you actually want to do stuff that the people of Pennsylvania supposedly in that article, that's why you're doing this is because so many Pennsylvanians have questions, wouldn't you think you would make sure that you answer the questions that the people actually have?
No, Karen, because he doesn't care. Who are you kidding? I'm sorry. Did we look at his campaign finance trail? I know we're not allowed to talk about it because it was full of errors. But
it's a glitch, Jamie, a glitch.
I know. It's amazing. I bet if we pointed out some other things, they would glitch too. Just like Michigan. Michigan was a glitch. We found 6,000 votes in Michigan due to a glitch. I wonder if we could get a glitch in PA.
No.
I'm just going to dance and not talk because they're doing all the talking and they rock.
I'm really distracted watching you dance. I can't keep it together.
I have to give these girls credit because had it not been for them, I would have come on here like a dragon with smoke coming out of my ears and nose and spewed a bunch of garbage. But because God gave me them, here we are, spewing truth, having fun. Right?
Yep.
We just want truth. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we want. That's what the people want.
Yeah. And I think the real issue here and why this video is even important is the fact that there's not a person in Pennsylvania right now who doesn't know that we haven't told, that we haven't tried to tell what took place in this election. And Corman, more than anyone, is beyond aware. So we've got a couple options here, and these are assumptions. I will put the disclaimer out that this is my opinion so that you can't come at me for not speaking the truth. But if you're a rhino, man, does that show with your words and actions, and good grief. I mean, this man's a rhino. If he cared about the people, he would be doing what they asked because he works for us. He's not. He's not even responding to emails of constituents that he has. And when he does, it's been a copy and paste email because we've had several of them forwarded to us. Yeah. So tonight at my event that I was at in Bethel Park, I have to say, we took a poll of the 200 people who were there and asked them how many people have actually heard back from Corman and Ward when they emailed them, or any of their other senators. Do you know that 3 people raised their hand out of 200? So, I mean, in fairness, he's not the only politician failing right now. He's got some friends.
And see, that's the problem, is that's why you hear the term elected official, which means they are elected by the people. That is why, as Tony and I teach in our Constitution class, that the legislative branch has the most power because they are elected by the people. However, right, they're the closest to the people because they're supposed to speak for the people. The problem is,
he's one of the people, though, so he only speaks for himself.
Got it.
And his friends.
Do you think he's ever read this? What do you think?
I don't think he has enough money to pay for it with all the money he's given away.
I mean, the problem really is that if he actually was an elected official, and he got elected rightfully, he would want to prove that.
I think we should prove through this. I don't know. Is it a forensic audit? Is it an investigation? Is it a hearing? Is it just all a sham? We'll call it an audit just for fun. I'd like to prove through this audit that all of the Dems won. I just want to prove that they were duly elected and that everything they say happened. I would love to say Joe Biden actually beat Trump, and now we can prove it.
Crushed
and Pennsylvania's a blue state. I mean, come on, don't
crushed it.
I just want to help them prove that their case is that solid. I mean, I know personally, and Tony, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's like 2 or 3 areas where we've, kind of, sort of, somewhat seen some irregularities or discrepancies. I mean, and they only add up to a million votes. That's nothing. That's nothing. A million's not bigger than 80,000. So, I mean, we have nothing to worry about.
No, but everything that we've seen, Jamie, everything the 3 of us have researched, 7 data analysts that we've talked to now that don't really know each other, but all are coming to the same conclusions.
Well,
let's name them so people know they're credible. So we have Seth Keshel. We have, Captain Seth Keshel. We have Dr. Doug Frank. We have Bobby Pitton. We have our local guy, Vico Bertoli. I also have my friend, maybe I'll leave Totes out, but
I was going to say Totes.
Totes legit votes, who's actually been very helpful, as well as some people on the ground who have proven to be very resourceful volunteers of Audit the Vote PA. Am I leaving anyone out? Oh, Michael Malloy on our website with data analysis.
We have some out-of-state people from Washington that have actually offered to help us.
Mm-hmm. You've got the other guy, too, whose name we can't pronounce. Mark or Merrick or, the guy with the Z.
The guy from New York. Yep. We
Who
have
sends
like
us
double digits
all
of data
information
analysts.
to look into. I know.
And they're all coming up with very similar data, but none of them really know each other.
Like
Jamie.
I said, that's coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Jamie, did you and I find legit mail-in ballots when we knocked on a handful of doors?
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, 60 to 80% of them no longer live there, but that's not that big of a deal. That's well within the threshold of fraud that you would expect, right?
Of course.
And I mean, they're not going to prove that through a forensic audit, right? We need to look at the process of voting. So I don't know if Corman's aware of this, but part of the process of voting is allowing poll watchers. I wonder if he has a problem with Republican poll watchers illegally and unconstitutionally being kept from seeing hundreds of thousands of votes cast in Pennsylvania. Because again,
you can't see things from 40 feet away.
I know. Well, I can't do math very well because I'm just a dumb, stupid private citizen and I don't know anything. But 300,000 is still less than 80,000, right? So those votes wouldn't matter either. So a million doesn't matter. 300,000 doesn't matter. 78,000 in Montgomery County doesn't matter. I mean, there really is no amount of fraud that matters, guys.
Or when we've looked at voter rolls because thankfully we've got connected with people who've taken voter rolls multiple times. And somehow in November and December, these people aren't on the voter rolls. But then in February, they are, and supposedly they were registered way before November.
Karen, that's a glitch.
I'm sorry.
Come on. No, that's not a glitch. That was a clerical error. That was
sorry.
A clerical error.
My fault. I'm sorry.
Maybe, I have an idea. Maybe one of the over 100 liberal Democrat organizations that Bookvar gave access to our voter registrations Maybe one of them did something since she gave them all or most of them read and write access. I mean,
hold on. What does read and write access mean, ladies?
So if you just had read access, you could only go in and examine the information. But when you're given write access, you can go in and change it, add to it, delete, manipulate, fix, glitch, anything that you want, really.
Has there been any evidence that has happened? Have we seen any evidence of that at all?
Oh, no.
Tony, that was kind of a dumb question.
Right.
I mean,
we really haven't seen much evidence per se. Like, I would really appreciate maybe, do you have any evidence of that?
No, the 50 people in Tioga County that all had multiple IDs in the Shore system, that all had the same date of birth, the same exact name, and the same address, that's a glitch.
Another one.
Of them.
How about did your birth date change? Do you have multiple birth dates? Did that ever change?
This is my favorite. I know. Who knew? Did you guys know that dates of birth need updated? Because they change. 8,000 people in Pennsylvania. 8,000.
Well,
their date of births actually needed updated for the 2020 election. So they changed the date of birth so they could vote.
They did. And even though it's impossible for somebody to register twice because the system is supposed to recognize that, somehow we have 30,000 duplicates.
Wait a minute. Duplicates? Duplicates?
Duplicates.
It's a glitch.
It's another glitch.
No, I think that one was just human error on the machines.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite. I love when the computer does something and we blame human error.
Well, yeah, because human error is the whole reason that we have any issues at all.
I know. That's why we bought the machines, to get rid of human error. And yet every mistake is still human error.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't one of the selling points for the new machines that they were easier to audit?
Yeah, but you didn't expect them to actually want to audit anything, did you? Those machines are supposed to spit out paper now. And I think that's really what they meant.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's really scary is this sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit, except it's not. It's really what's going on in Pennsylvania.
Now, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I don't want to butcher these numbers because I can't remember them exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was like 39,911-ish underage voters.
Wait, underage? What do you mean underage, Jamie?
Well, so here's the deal. If when you got registered to vote, you weren't 18 by the election, you shouldn't be allowed to register, let alone vote.
Absolutely.
But that could have been human error too. But then there's like this small piece of me that wonders why 80% of those 40,000 people were aged 0 and 1. That kind of throws me for a loop that we had, 80% of 40,000. Again, I'm just a stupid private citizen. I can't do that math. It's just part of my human error. But that's a lot of 0 and 1-year-olds to be voting.
Hey, and the 162-year-old person in Montgomery County, that was just a glitch too, right?
Another one. That was human error. Human error.
Okay.
Human error. Yes.
Okay. Another one.
I know.
Well, if you ladies don't have anything else, I think this could not have gone better. And what I was originally planning on doing, of course, God always intervenes and brings what he wants to have done. And I couldn't have planned this, honestly, any better. Thank you, girls, very much. You make me better, and I appreciate you being in my life.
Okay, so let us know if Corman contacts you for that interview.
Yeah, because we would love to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, live or Dush. Let's do it together.
Or Dush.
What if we got all three of them? Corman, Dush, and Mastriano, so we could really figure out what the heck happened.
I think that'd be great.
I bet one of those guys would agree.
I don't know.
I don't know. Which one do you think? I don't know. We'll leave that one alone. But I don't see any questions in the comments. So we're going to end this. I hope you guys had fun, got informed, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Let's see if he puts out a new statement about all of these glitches.
Yes, if he would address the glitches, I think that would be ideal.
I would appreciate that as one of the people.
Oh, hey, I have one more glitch I want to ask.
Oh.
That still we have yet to be able to answer. Can anyone please explain why we stopped counting at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh. I heard it was like an algorithm that broke because they underestimated 15 million votes for Trump. I mean, that's just a hypothesis.
I heard it's because Florida actually overtook the lead, and they found they needed Pennsylvania or Florida. And when they realized they didn't get Florida, Pennsylvania had such a big lead, all of a sudden they had to hit the brakes. But again, that's just a rumor. Really no truth.
Yeah, because if I remember right, Tony, you asked Kerry Benninghoff why, and he couldn't answer, right?
No, but he hasn't. Him and Jake Corman have seen no evidence.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's a shame. Hey, ladies, I wonder if we should send them evidence.
Or I wonder if we have some videos that are going to show that they saw evidence.
Am I crazy? Did we send them evidence already?
Oh yeah, I think so. Didn't we? Well,
I wonder if that was one of the things he didn't read.
I was gonna say how many emails did they get from us? 15? Did we send any emails, ladies?
I don't think. I think we forgot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Our fault.
Do we need to send more then?
I think we better go to bed.
Question. No, we haven't been drinking. We have just been working our rear ends off. And when mama bears get upset because the rug's pulled out from under them, this is what happens. Stay tuned. Bye. Bye, girl.